And this is a curious and potentially pointless bet from David Baker. Darren Elias well out in front with over $9 million in chips. David Baker and Modest Cymbalus essentially tied for second place. And three of our short stacks trying to make up some ground.
Blinds at 25 and 50 with the big blind ante of 50. There's John Smith, quick fold. Darren Elias, the chip leader, going out. ODB as well. Now Steve, make it 110 to go. John Claude Musa going away.
How much you started, Steve?
1.2.
Modest, with Jack-6 offsuit in the big blind, has just enough hand to continue here. But with Ace-8-3 on the flop, I doubt he continues.
You checked, right?
Steve will fire out 100,000. Modest quickly folds. So the first hand of our final table is pushed in the direction of Steve Yao.
You can keep this. Just one.
Out of Seoul, Korea. First WPT cash.
This is why I thought you were the second best at the table. Most people don't make a fold there.
He's been playing for 13 years. He dropped out of medical school in Korea.
Wow, so we'll find out tonight whether that was a profitable decision or not.
I think it's going to be.
Tough to beat out that doctor money.
Yeah, but this is a lot more fun. Come on.
You're right. This is a lot more fun. You get to be on TV, and you just might win over $1 million.
David Baker now wakes up with a king 10 of clubs, and he'll make it 140 to go. John Claude Musa going out. Modest as well. Now John Smith. He can't play that, but Darren Elias with a king 9 in the big blind.
Yeah, Darren will not be folding king 9 in the big blind, despite the large sizing from David here. Almost full 3x, which is kind of a old school sizing from a old school poker player. And here he has flopped huge.
Jack 9 deuce, 2 clubs. David Baker with a straight flush draw, but Darren out in front with 9s. And David will bet this.
Yeah, Darren with second pair and a backdoor straight draw will not be folding on this flop. So we go to a turn.
Yeah, ODB does not connect, so Darren Elias with this little pair of 9s here is going to check.
And that's not a great card for David to try and represent or push Darren out of this pot with. He basically would have to commit to firing 3 if he bets that turn.
10 on the river. David Baker now out in front with 10s.
I like that David mixed in checking on the turn there. And now he has a decision on the river. Does he go for a thin value bet or just keep the pot small against Darren? I'm sure he realizes Darren would bet many of his jacks on this river, but Darren's also capable of checking medium strength hands on this river and strong hands.
Check. 9. 10.
Yep, he's going to check. No big upside by betting. And David Baker, rivers out Darren. David Baker has a World Series of Poker bracelet to his name.
David Baker is a very accomplished player, loves the mixed games, prolific cash game player, as you said, has a World Series bracelet, but he's still looking for his first major Hold'em title, so I know that winning such a prestigious tournament like the LAPC would be an awesome feather in his cap at this stage of his career.
More boring than usual.
Oh, we got a bunch of folds, and now John Smith, who is a highway contractor, is going to go push all in with an ace-queen. But David Baker shows 110.
Oh,
Is that 2 10s?
that's
Wow.
a playable hand.
Call.
Whoa, he's got a pair of 10s. Insta-call, of course.
10s versus ace queen. We have 10s.
Okay, well, as you can see, John is actually a small favorite here because one of David's 10s was folded pre-flop. Typically, David would actually be a small favorite here with the pair versus the overcards.
Here come the first three. Can John get lucky here? No, 7-5-4, 2 hearts on the flop. David out in front.
It does give John a backdoor flush draw, so not a hopeless flop, but a pretty good one for David.
Yeah, let's see if John can suck out here. And he does so with an ace.
Gin card for John. We know that the 10 of spades was folded pre-flop, so David is drawing dead.
Got one out.
No, I folded the black 10.
John, you can't lose, John. It's okay. You can look.
John Smith gonna do a nice double up there.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT33 and get free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
Played down to 6 players. That's when we brought it here to Vegas for the final table.
I've never done well in the LAPC, but I've always really wanted to because it's one of the few true 10K freeze-outs remaining on the tournament circuit. It always generates a first prize above $1 million. It's just a prestigious, historic tournament, and I just want to get it past day 2 once, Vince.
Keep trying, my friend. You'll do it. Matos is raised with King 10, but look at this. David Baker wakes up with Kings.
Oh, and he is going to get cute here, just calling out of the small blind. This is partially a result of Steve having a middling stack in the big blind and David trying to trap him, but I think I prefer a 3-bet here when Matos is also 100 blinds deep and you're playing out of the small blind. David checks.
Flop is a Jack 7 deuce. Matos will continue to bet.
If I'm David, I'm going to check raise this flop pretty frequently with my kings. But looks like he's going with a call and wants to allow Matos some room to bluff.
4 spades.
Nice, safe turn card for David Baker, but also not a card that will inspire Matos to put more money in this pot. And he does check behind.
6 on the river changes nothing. David Baker, very stern. It's almost like he's a prison guard, you know?
He's got a prison guard vibe to
Yeah, he
him.
just doesn't give you much.
How many nights have you spent in jail, Vince?
Don't go there. No.
It's a dangerous booth we've got here. Matos, holding king high, gives that one up. And you see there that the players in second chip position are going to prioritize keeping pots small against the other deep stack players. I think you'll see them take more aggressive lines against the short stack players as they push to knock them out.
Quick fold by Matos. John Smith now. The highway contractor with a queen jack will elect to raise it to 130.
John Smith, infamous in poker circles for getting second at the 10K heads-up event in back-to-back years at the World Series of Poker. That is one of the toughest fields around, and John, who's not a professional poker player, has fared so well in that field. David here on the button with 8-7 offsuit is going to go after John, making it 275,000. I like the dynamic David is attacking here with John having one of the shorter stacks but wanting to ladder here, but I think David should probably bluff a little bigger pre-flop if he wants to get a fold.
I didn't get the fold, but a good flop for him is a 6-4-3. And John not hitting there, checks. David getting out those betting chips, 150. And it's gonna work. So beautifully done by David Baker, taking it down with 8 high. Darren with 8.7 million. David Baker in second chip position with about 5 million. David lives in Arizona with his family. He's 46 years old. Went to Auburn University.
Raise.
There's a raise by Darren Elias here. David is just called with 6s.
Steve has got about 25 blinds here with ace-jack suited.
Mullen.
Nice play from Steve, yeah, here. He is a little too short to consider calling or making a smaller 3-bet, and
I'd like a count, please.
he's put David with the best hand to the test. David with the decision pair. I think that he would call 7s, fold 5s, and on 6s, I really don't know.
Well, he's been on a good rush at the final table so far. Will he continue with this? And he is going to fold it just like that.
Raise.
Darren Elias with ace queen. He's raised to 100,000. Baker out, Steve Via out. Jean-Claude Moussa finally waking up with ace jack of spades. Will make this call. John Smith goes away.
1.2.
Every ace is out. David Baker folded ace 10. John folded an ace 3.
Wow, Jack 5-4, 2 hearts. So John Claude hitting the jacks.
Top pair, top kicker in position against Darren, who has checked to him
125.
on an actually pretty good board for Darren's hand, holding the queen of hearts and 2 overcards. So Darren will call that bet of 125,000 from JC. And a 3 of spades on the turn may prolong this hand.
It's going to check again.
225.
I'm curious, facing a bet of 225,000, whether Darren continues here. He has picked up a gut shot, but he's aware that JC has been playing tight. He could potentially bluff if the river is a heart, but no, he's just going to go away. So JC and his top pair, top kicker will collect that pot, his first at our final table.
John Claude says he loves to play poker, especially cash games. He says he's going to invest his winnings here in Bitcoin.
Ooh, I like it.
It's on Steve. Yeah, he has a pair of 5s here, and he likes it. Makes it 110 to go. Got a fold by Jean-Claude and Modest. Now John Smith with a queen, jack of spades. Let's see what he does. Just calls.
And now David Baker, with 9-8 offsuit in the big blind, will make the call for 60,000 more. So 3 ways to this flop.
And the flop is a king, king, 5. Look at this. 5's full for Steve, yeah. Oh, my. David gonna check. Steve, yeah, not gonna play it tricky. He's gonna go in with a bet. 110.
I like this small bet from Steve. If one of his opponents has a king, he builds a pot so he can get stacks in. And if one of his opponents has a pair between the 5 and kings, he'll get some value. So, no luck there for Steve, but I like the bet. Steve moving up our ladder here, creating a little separation between himself and the other 2 short stacks, and now above 30 blinds. So we'll see him put his money in pre-flop less often.
Jean-Claude Moussa, the 36-year-old. He is married. He has a 2-year-old son. And he goes out.
Kind of a tight fold from JC with the king jack, but I think that is a stack size adjustment here. He doesn't want to
Raise.
unnecessarily risk getting stacked with a marginal hand. And with Darren on the button, he's going to face a lot of aggression. Meanwhile, Darren's raise on the button with 9-3 suited has run into pocket 10s from Steve.
Steve will make a raise to 335 total. And Darren's saying, why did I have to get out of line? I'm not catching cards here tonight so far. Has to fold the hand.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT33 and get free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
I feel like losses are 3 times worse than good wins.
Psychologists would say that's the exact ratio. You
Okay.
nailed it.
It's about right. You're licking those wounds for weeks when you have a bad loss, but the wins, you go, oh, this is great for 48 hours. However, we keep playing, Tony.
That's why you have to be a sicko to play tournaments for a living. You just eat the losses every day. Go home with just a little more bitterness.
All right, John Smith has raised to 125 with ace-10. He's getting action by Jean-Claude with queen-jack. Here is the flop.
8-4-3 all clubs. Both players holding a club. Jean-Claude's is better with the queen. These are flops that often get checked back to keep the pot small, but John here with ace-10 and the 10 of clubs wants to fire out for 175. JC, 5th in chips. Doesn't want to get tangled up unnecessarily, but seems like you got to continue with 2 overcards and the queen high flush draw. Darren Elias still well out in front at 8.4 million, being chased by David Baker at 4.7 and Modest Cymbalis at 3.8 million. The next 3 players all within a few $100,000 of each other as our short stacks.
All right, we go back to the action.
Steve here raising up 110,000 with ace jack. Modest looking over with 9-6 suited in the small blind. Eyeing Steve's stack.
375.
And announcing a raise to 375,000. I love this play from Modest. He's in 3rd chip position, attacking one of the players tied in 4th right now, and Steve, as we've discussed, really doesn't want to go out of his way to take gambles at this stage of the tournament. Is going to have to fold ace-jack, so Modest there, recognizing the dynamics and taking advantage.
That's a rail.
Ujliatova. И свеката.
And they are having one good party here.
Vamos.
Fold by Big John Smith. And now Darren Elias with an attractive ace-jack of clubs will raise it to 125. Now right behind him, David with ace-queen of spades, giving him a serial killer look.
That's absolutely right. And we've been talking all night about how David is incentivized to keep pots small against Darren while he's still 2nd in chips, and there's a bunch of players that could go out.
He's just called it. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. You see him call, and that also gives him some protection against the other players just shoving over the top and expecting a fold every time. David has a hand that can call them.
Well, the flop is a 4-3-3, so Modest is out in front now with his little 4s, who checks.
Nice flop from Modest. Not only does he make the pair, but he has the backdoor straight draw to go with it. Darren, with 2 overcards, a backdoor straight draw of his own, and a backdoor flush draw, fires out, and David, with the overcards, makes the call. Modest, likely concerned about the bet and call here, but not ready to fold, will come along.
3-handed action. 7 of spades on the turn. Modest is going to check it. Let's see if Darren slows down. Yes, he's going to check now.
And this is a curious and potentially pointless bet from David Baker. I don't think you can make any better hands fold. You don't really have a meaningful way to improve. The player in the big blind can easily have a 3 or 6-5. So David here, stepping in it unnecessarily, Modest with a decision.
Modest has to take more time, so before you throw David's hand away, it could very well work.
Oh, is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do?
Oh, yeah. He thinks he's in front. He's
Oh,
correct,
yeah.
and he's going to go over the top to 655. Darren goes out.
This is gangster. Modest has the blocker to 4's full. He blocks 6-5. And he knows that David is capped because he would 3-bet the biggest pairs pre-flop. And well, if you got pocket 7s, good for you. David making an unnecessary bet is getting punished for it.
Gotta lay that down, and all of a sudden, Modest Symbolis is on fire.